Good morning. Today we are doing technical analysis part 2. In the previous PPT, we did the basics of technical analysis, Doe theory, Elliott wave theory, and then we also did moving average chart. Today we will be doing some other charts in technical analysis. See, charting is the basic technique in technical analysis. The task of technical analyst is to check the past price behavior, and on that basis future price behavior is predicted. For that purpose, technical analyst uses various charts and graphs as basic tools. These charts and graphs provide visual assistance to the analyst. Using these charts and graphs, he tries to detect evolving pattern in prices. We did last time that in technical analysis, it is presumed that same trends, same patterns will continue in future till some definite change comes in the market, right? So on the basis of trends and patterns in the market, technical analyst, he tries to predict future price behavior, right? So some commonly used charts in the market we will be doing today. The first such chart is line chart. This is most commonly used chart in the market. Very simple form of chart. On x-axis we take time. On y-axis you can take any one or more variables, like you can take price, volume. Out of price you can take closing price, opening price, high price, low price, or index can be taken on y-axis. Various points are plotted and then these are joined with lines, right? Usually in the stock market, line chart is prepared with the closing price. You depict daily data and daily closing price is plotted on the line chart. You can make chart for number of days, number of weeks, months. These points, plotted points, they are joined with straight line and line chart is made, right? This can be used to see interday or intraday fluctuations in variables, but when you are preparing it only for the closing price, then intraday fluctuations cannot be seen. Sometimes this is also used for comparative analysis of two or more variables. Like if you are making two line charts in the same graph, opening price and closing price, then two lines will be there and you can compare the trend in opening or closing price. In the same way, price chart, stock price chart for different companies in the same industry can be prepared, and this can be, their prices can be compared, right? So for comparative analysis also you can use the line chart. Usually in the stock market, line chart of closing price of a share or index is used. We can see some line charts. See, this is the line chart for Sensex. This is the latest one from 17 January 2020 to 27th March 2020. This line chart is depicting the change in Sensex. There was huge fall in Sensex during this period due to COVID-19. This is depicted by the line chart, right? Another chart which is used in the market is bar chart. In bar chart, information is depicted using vertical lines. This is also very popular technique. Each day's price boundaries, that means high and low prices, are depicted using vertical lines. The top of the vertical bar, it represents high price for the stock during the day, and bottom of the line, it represents the low price of the stock during the day. You can also show closing price on this bar. This vertical line is known as high low bar. On that line, closing price is depicted using a horizontal tick, right? Sometimes opening and closing, both prices are shown. If opening and closing, both prices are to be shown, then on left hand side, a tick can be put showing opening price, and on right hand side, you can put a tick showing closing price. This one. See, This is bar chart where we are showing high price, low price. This line, this bar is known as high low bar. On high low bar, on left hand side, this tick is showing the opening price for the day, and on right hand side, this horizontal tick is showing closing price for the day, right? The range of price for the day is high minus low price. So in the bar chart, you can depict high price, low price, opening price, and closing price for the day, right? Generally, in case of bar chart, bottom area, in the bottom area, volume of transaction, that is also shown. So vertical bars on the lower part of the chart, they show volume of transaction, and vertical bars on upper side of the chart, they depict high low prices and closing prices, right? Studies based on bar chart show that usually volume moves proportionately with price. That means when prices are showing upward trend, volume increases, and when prices are showing downward trend, volume decreases. The chart is simple to draw and interpret, and it has a lot of visual appeal. We can see the chart, the complete chart. This is bar chart where prices as well as volume is being depicted. So this kind of chart will have two y-axis. On the x-axis, we have taken time and days. Left hand side, y-axis, this is depicting price of the share. And on right hand side, volume of transaction is there on y-axis. The lower portion of the chart, these bars are depicting volume of transaction on a particular day, and on upper portion of the chart, bars are showing high price, low price, and this horizontal tick, this is showing the closing price. See, when prices are showing upward trend, these bars are increasing, showing increase in price, volume is also increasing. When downward trend is there in the price, volume is also declining. Usually, this is the trend, this is the relationship between prices and volume of transaction, right? This is a chart which is again a bar chart. These are price bars, high-low bars, horizontal tick. This is depicting the closing price, and on lower portion of the chart, volume of transaction. This is there. If closing price on a particular day is lower than closing price of the previous day, the bar is red. But if closing price on a particular day is higher than closing price of the previous day, like in this situation or in this situation, in that situation, bar is black bar, right? So red bars are showing downward trend in closing price as compared to previous day closing price, and black bar is showing upward movement in closing price on a particular day as compared to closing price of the previous day. Another chart which is used in the market is candlestick chart. In candlestick chart, lot of information is depicted besides high price and low price, opening price and closing price. Trend in price is also shown. Information is depicted in two ways. One is a vertical box. This vertical box is known as a candle. This candle shows opening and closing prices on a particular day. If opening price is more than closing price, that means there is decrease in price during the day, then box is shaded. Otherwise, box remains the clear box, right? So a shaded box represents decrease in price during the day, while a clear box represents the increase in price during the day. From this vertical box, a vertical line passes. This vertical line is known as stick. That's why name of the chart is candlestick. Vertical box known as candle, and a vertical line known as stick. This line is nothing but high-low bar. That means it depicts highest and lowest prices for the day. the top portion of the line, it shows highest price on a particular day, and the lowest portion, bottom point of this line, shows lowest price for a particular day, right? So in two-way information is depicted, through a vertical box and through a vertical line known as stick. So this chart depicts more information. It shows information on opening and closing prices for the day, highest and lowest prices for each day, and increasing or decreasing trend in price during each day. You can see this chart. This is candlestick chart. This candle, this vertical box is showing closing and opening price. If closing price is higher than opening price, this is a clear candle. But if opening price is higher than closing price, then candle is shaded. You can shade the candle, or in the market usually we use red candle for showing decline in price during the day, and green candle for showing increase in price during the day. From this candle, a stick passes. This stick is high-low bar. That means it depicts highest and lowest price for the day, right? This way. This is Nifty 3-week chart, and these candles, they are showing the information on closing, opening, highest and lowest price for different days. This is again Nifty chart. Here the candles are red and green. Red candle shows decline in price on a particular day, and green candle shows increase in price during the day. A different kind of chart, totally different kind of chart, is point and figure chart. In all the previous chart, line chart, bar chart, and candlestick chart, on the x-axis we take time, and on y-axis price or volume can be taken. In PFC, x-axis doesn't represent time. On x-axis, time is not taken, and on y-axis we show only significant price changes. So this chart is slightly different from other charts. See that unique features of PFC, it has no time dimension. We assume in PFC that future prices can be predicted only on the basis of past prices. Time dimension and volume, these two are not useful. The chart depicts only significant price changes, that means small or insignificant changes in prices. These are not depicted on point and figure chart, PFC. Only significant price movements are plotted and depicted on this particular chart, right? Whenever there is reversal in direction of prices, then we move from one band to other. In PFC, increases in prices, these are depicted by crosses or X. And decreases in prices, these are depicted by O's or zeros, right? And prices, only significant price changes and reversals, these are analyzed. And on that basis, you try to predict the future price. While the vertical scale on PFC represents the price of the stock, the horizontal scale doesn't represent the time scale in its usual sense. Each column on horizontal scale, it represents a significant price movement and not a particular trading day or week. The analyst starts by deciding what is significant price change. Now, significant price change, it may depend on the price range for that particular share. That means from share to share, significant price range or change, it may differ. Suppose price for a particular stock is moving between 100 to 200. For this stock, a 10 rupee change may be significant price change. But if price is moving between say 2000 to 5000, then you can take significant price change as 500 rupees or 1000 rupees. So depending upon price range of a particular stock, the first thing to be done by analyst is to decide what is significant price change, right? Then every significant increase in price is shown by X on the chart, and every significant decrease is shown by O on the chart. This series of X and O's, these are shown separately on the chart. That means whenever there is change in movement of prices, we shift from one column to other column. X and O's, they are never shown in the same column. If prices are increasing significantly, you are showing that with X. But if price starts declining, then you will shift to different column, and in different column, O's through O's, you will be showing decline in prices. These X and O's, they form a congestion area. And by analysis of this congestion area, the future price behavior is predicted. We can take one example. Suppose closing price of a stock for different days, these are like this: 50, 52, 55. These are closing prices for different days. See, price is moving from 50 to 80. So we can take rupees 5 as significant price change. On x-axis, no time dimension. On y-axis, the scale is taken for significant price change. I have taken rupees 5 as significant price change. The first price is 50. Price moves to 52. It will not be depicted on the chart. When price goes to 55, then one cross is put between 50 to 55. Then for 58, no recording. When it goes to 61, another cross between 55 to 60, that will be depicted. One is to be ignored. Then when it reaches to 65, another cross is there. 67, not to be recorded. When it reaches to 72, you will be putting one cross between 65 to 70. Then for 75, another cross is there. After that, price has declined to 72. Ignore this. When it goes to 65, that means from 75, 10 rupees change is there. You will be putting two O's to depict this 10 rupees change, right? So 3 rupees change is to be ignored. But when change is of rupees 5 or more than rupees 5, then it is to be shown. See, we are not combining X and O's in one single column. Whenever there is change in direction of price, we shift to another column, right? So decrease in prices through O's, this is to be shown in separate column. From 65, it is going to 60 and then 54. So two zeros up to 55, that is there. And again, it has started increasing. So accordingly, crosses have been put, right? So in this way, this congestion area of X and O's, this is formed. See, in this chart, in every subsequent X column, the highest X is higher than the previous X. So this is showing increasing trend in prices. You can also put resistance and support level, that we will be doing in next chart, support and resistance level. So that can also be shown in the chart. This congestion area, this is analyzed to predict future price behavior. The congestion area represents a horizontal band of X and O's on a PFC, which develops because of series of reversals around certain price level. Now, if price breaches the top of the congestion area, then it may show bullish trend in the market, right? But if price penetrates through bottom of the congestion area, it signals bearish trend or downward price movement in the market, right? So by analyzing congestion area, you can find buy or sell signals in the market. When X lines are moving up after every O lines, a buy signal is there. Again, when price is breaching the top of the congestion area, this is also a buy signal, because in future bullish trend is predicted. So this is a signal to buy, so that in future you can sell at a higher price. When O bands are going down, After every X band, sell signal is there because this is signaling bearish trend in future. In the same way, when price penetrates through the bottom of the congestion area, it signals downward price movement. That means in future, bearish trend will be there in the market. This is a sell signal. It is better to sell your holding. Otherwise, you will have to wait for a long period of time to sell your stock, right? On the basis of PFCs or on the basis of any of the previous chart, you can draw two levels. These levels are support and resistance levels. Support level is a level below which price is not likely to go in the short term at least. And resistance level is a level above which price is not likely to go in the short term, right? So on the basis of any of the chart, you can draw support and resistance level. A support level is the price level below which price is unlikely to fall, and resistance level is one above which the price is unlikely to rise. Keep this thing in mind that these two levels are found only with reference to recent history of prices, and these levels are not constant levels. These may keep on changing from time to time, right? Generally what happens for a particular stock, market makes these two levels. When price reaches the support levels, the investors, the buyers in the market, they think that this is the lowest price. They start buying in the market, right? And this leads to upward trend in the prices. When prices reach the resistance level, most of the investors think in the market that this is the highest price in the market, so they start selling in the market. So again, reverse movement in prices, the downward movement in prices, it starts, right? See this way. This is candlestick chart. Using candlestick chart, these two levels have been formed. This is the support level. This is the resistance level. Whenever price reaches this level, investors think that this is the lowest price. They start buying in the market. Because of increase in demand, price starts increasing. When price reaches the resistance level, investors think that this is the highest price. They start selling in the market. Because of supply pressure in the market, price starts moving in the opposite direction. So at least in the short term, these two levels, they are there. Suppose price breaches, the line breaches this support level, this shows bearish trend in the market. Movement within these lines, this is normal movement. But if price goes below the support level, this shows bearish trend in future in the market. And if price penetrates, it goes above the resistance level, this shows bullish trend in the market in future. Using PFC also, support and resistance levels, these can be found. This is the support level. Whenever prices are reaching here, then reverse movement is starting, and this is the resistance level. Usually we uh, find these levels using line chart. This is line chart, and this is support level, this is resistance level. When price is reaching the support level, this is the buy signal, because after that price will go up. But if price is reaching the resistance level, this is a sell signal, because this is usually the highest price in the market. Using the charts, you can see some chart patterns. And these chart patterns, they help us to know the future price behavior, or you can find support or resistance level using these chart patterns. This is known as double bottom chart or W shape chart. W shape, this indicates support level, right? So if line chart is forming W shape, this is indicating support level. The reverse is M shape. M shape or double top chart, this indicates resistance level in the market. This is head and shoulder pattern or neckline pattern. Usually, after a long upward trend in the market, at the end, a neckline pattern is there. Neckline pattern, head and shoulder pattern, the small jump, after that, a huge jump is there, then small jump, and then small zigzag lines. This is usually an indicator of reversal in trend. After a long upward trend, if neckline is there, if prices form head and shoulder pattern, this is a sell signal, because there is an indication that now prices may start moving in downward direction, right? So this is sell signal in the market. Sell your holding, because bearish trend may start in the market. Reverse of this is inverse head and shoulder pattern. After a long bearish trend, if inverse head and shoulder pattern is there, see, after this, the price is breaching this particular line. This is a buy signal, because this is indicating that bullish trend may start in future. So if you are buying here, after that you can sell at a higher price. These are some triangles. This is symmetrical triangle. This is ascending triangle. This is descending triangle. So using these triangles also, you can predict future price behavior. So various chart patterns may be there in the market. The task of technical analyst is to see trend in prices, and for finding if there is possibility of reversal in trend or not, he tries to check various chart patterns. On that basis, he predicts the reversal in prices. If you are making decision before reversal starts, then you can maximize your gain in the market, right? There are some arguments in favor of technical analysis. Technical analysis, technical analyst, he uses charts. Charts provide a picture of what happens in the past. Prices, their impact on volume, it shows public interest in a particular stock. So if one wants to see public interest in a particular share, then these charts can be used. Charts and graphs, they are easier to understand and interpret. If enormous data is given to you and you have to analyze that, definitely it is difficult. But if you are doing pictorial presentation of this data, this is not only interesting, but it is very easier to understand and interpret. The technical analysis is based on crowd psychology. It is based on the proposition that history repeats itself, trend persists for quite some time, and by identifying these trends, you can predict future price behavior, at least in the short term. This analysis is very, very useful analysis. Reversal in trend takes place when some new information comes in the market. Because of that new information, there is shift in demand and supply. Technical analysis helps in detecting these shifts early, and therefore it helps in investment decision making. So if you are using technical analysis, you can get buy or sell signal early, and it will help you to maximize your gains in the market. This analysis is very, very useful in short term. If you have to make quick decision making, you can use technical analysis. Using charts and graphs, you can quickly decide whether to buy a particular share or not, or is this the right time to buy a share or not. So it helps in knowing the correct time to enter in the market. This point is mainly useful, mainly applicable in case of long-term investor. Long-term investor decides what to buy on the basis of fundamental analysis, but when to buy, that means what is the correct time to enter in the market, it can be decided on the basis of technical analysis, right? But the analysis is having some limitations also. Limitations of technical analysis: charts and graphs can be interpreted only on the basis of experience. Careful interpretation is required. Ups and downs in the market, they are there. whether these ups and downs, they are within a main primary trend or they are showing reversal in trend. To classify between the short-term reversal, short-term changes, or long-term trends, lot of experience is required. The interpretation may also be impacted by personal bias of the analyst. If the person is optimistic, he may say, this downward trend is only short-term trend. This is not a reversal in trend. But if the person is pessimistic, he may say that this is completely a reversal of trend. So you should immediately make the decision. So depending upon how you are perceiving a particular situation, you may interpret things differently. Whenever reversal is expected, you require quick decision making. Generally, trends are indicated but not reversals. But if reversals are to be predicted, then for prediction of these reversals, lot of information, lot of experience is required. Long-term perspective is missing in the theory. I have told that this theory is mainly useful for short-term investors. So long-term perspective is not there. For short-term, definitely you can use the theory. It is difficult for ordinary people, for a layman, understanding the charts, drawing the charts, and interpreting the results. That is not an easier task. In rational, well-ordered, and efficient markets, trend analysis is not required. This you will be doing in efficient market hypothesis. Efficient market hypothesis says that there is no use of technical analysis. So if market is rational, it is well ordered, it is efficient market, there is no use of technical analysis. But in practice, we know that markets are full of limitations. Markets are not perfectly efficient market. So this analysis, this is practically used in the market, and technical analysts, they make huge gain in the market, right? This is most controversial kind of analysis, but in real world, markets are not efficient. They are full of imperfections, irrationalities, inefficiencies. People go by market psychology. Rational behavior is always not there. So technical analysis, it has its own use in the market, and if it is used with fundamental analysis, then definitely this can give you good results. You can try these questions from the chapter. Thank you.